Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I am your host, Tony Gaud. Welcome to the Word of Gaud. I'm here to bring some levity to this thing we call life. So this is the Thanksgiving show. That's right, it's Thanksgiving. And right here in the US of A. So happy Thanksgiving if you're celebrating Thanksgiving, or Indigenous People Day as well. So it's a big day in America. Hey, it's a big day in America. So we're serving up a lot of food. So hey, happy Thanksgiving, happy Indigenous People Day. Welcome to the show. I got a good show for you today because it's Thanksgiving. I'm gonna keep it light, so kick back, relax, enjoy the show. I'm going to tell you about a few things that we got going on, some announcements about the show, and I'm going to be talking about a couple of movies that I think are perfect movies. And they're not necessarily my favorite movie per se, but they're perfect movies. The way they were made, everything about them I would consider to be a perfect movie, and anybody could watch it and enjoy the movie and get it. And they don't skip a beat. And we're going to talk about it, and hopefully you guys will leave your perfect movie in the comments. And as always, whoever comments the word of the day first, I will pin you to the top of the comments. And of course that doesn't come till the end of the show, so you got to listen. Or you could cheat and then skip to the end of the show. I really can't tell. But we got a good show, so let's get into it right now. So hey, if you're new to the show, welcome to the show. If you're a returning listener, hey, thanks for coming back. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. So I basically do my little commentary about things that are in the news, social issues, comedy, things, anything. I put my comedic twist on it, my little levity, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. And I'm able to offer some kind of perspective, maybe even a resolution, even if it's ridiculous, because that's what it takes. Sometimes that's what it takes. We just gotta be ridiculous until we figure it out. We gotta be more ridiculous than the problem we're in. So we're gonna do that. And about the podcast, I will be beginning to do a video podcast. I think it's a lot more fun. I can do more with the graphics, and I can stare into the camera, things like that, and be awkward. That sounds exciting. So we're going to start that pretty soon. I'm just trying to get everything organized. Once I begin the video podcast, I'll also start having some interviews, and I'll start having some guests on, some experts, talk about the topics, so that way you guys can actually have some real knowledge, and I can just run my mouth and be silly and ridiculous, because I know how to do that. I can prove it. I will be talking to people. I will not be doing shrooms on the air, anything like that. Hopefully, eventually, we can build enough audience that we can have some fun live podcast, and we can interact live in the comments, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. We got to get to that point. But right now we're at the point of Thanksgiving. So I don't know how you guys celebrate, or if you celebrate, or if you're listening from a country that celebrates Thanksgiving, or a culture that celebrates it, but we do. And I'm preparing the meal. And in America, we basically prepare a big meal. Generally, it's going to be a turkey or a ham. I'm making a turkey, and you get all the fixings. I'm trying to make a great giblet gravies this year. I've never done that. So there's a lot of work going into it, and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just hoping the turkey's tender and the gravy comes out good, along with the stuffing, because that's really good. I mean, there's a lot of different foods you prepare with Thanksgiving, depending on who you are, with your family, who your family is. But usually, generally, I mean, you're going to have you have mashed potatoes. potatoes, you might have mac and cheese, you can have vegetables, corn, maize. That was at the first one, right? Everybody's going to have corn on that day for some reason. The sweet potatoes, pork and beans. So, I mean, you got everything. We got the pumpkin pie for desserts. I mean, you basically, the stuffing, you just engorge yourself with all of this food. You go back, you usually get at least one more plate. And then there's a lot of leftovers, a lot of sandwiches, things like that for the next couple days. We also used to have pasteles, because from my dad's side, our Puerto Rican side, and my grandmother would make pasteles also with the meal. So it's a different kind of thing. Celebrate a different cultures clash and make a big meal, and then everybody takes naps. That's the only time we all celebrate Thanksgiving and the Latin culture by taking a siesta. I'm going to take a siesta now. I think the parade's over. I'm going to lay down and sleep. So there's a lot of sleeping going on. And that's Thanksgiving in America. Eating and sleeping. It's basically the same as every other day in America, except even bigger. 10 times. Times 10. It's every day times 10. I'm not sure why people get surprised when there's feuds at the Thanksgiving, the family dinner. People don't get along. You got to think about the first Thanksgiving. It was with the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, and although they came together for a meal, it got pretty nasty after that. That's, let's be honest. So that's a tradition that we've carried along all through the years, so we should feel good about it. You know what? Let's talk about the perfect movie. Everybody knows a perfect movie, and you might agree with some on my list here. Now, these are movies that you could put anybody in front of, and they're going to enjoy the movie. They were made extremely well. One of those movies, you've probably already seen it. You probably already know what it is. It's a 1980s sci-fi classic where a small-town California teen by the name of Marty McFly is thrown back into the 1950s when an experiment by a crazy scientist friend of his goes awry. Back to the Future, the first one, Back to the Future Part 1, that was a perfect movie from beginning to end. Extremely amazing cast, led by Michael J. Fox, and you had Christopher Lloyd, who was already a legend, going back to Taxi and so forth. Leah Thompson, Christopher Glover, Thomas Wilson as Biff. So, I mean, you had an amazing cast. And coincidentally, Back to the Future didn't start off as a perfect film. The original Marty was Eric Stoltz. And then they replaced him with Michael J. Fox. If you go back and look, you can actually find some old clips from they shot half the movie with Eric Stoltz, and then they changed directions. And I mean, this was establishing these guys as film stars. It had Robert Zemeckis as the director. This was a huge hit. It's still making money. It was perfect. The timing of it was perfect. The acting was perfect for that tone. It was real but exaggerated. It was a comedy. It knew it was a comedy. Everybody that saw it knew it was a comedy. It hit all the beats, all the comedic beats. You can still watch it today, still enjoy it. The other two are up for debate. I thought they were both good, but the first one was amazing. I think it was perfect. I think it was a perfect film. I'm not saying it's the best ever, but it's a perfect film. Anybody could watch it and enjoy that film to its fullest. Another one that I really like, it is one of the ones I really like a lot. It's one of my favorites, is Tremors. If you've never seen Tremors, you gotta check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. Here, let me give you the synopsis. This is the synopsis, basically. There's two characters. This is like a buddy film. It's like a buddy sci-fi fantasy film. This is two guys, Val and Earl, played by Kevin Bacon was Val. Fred Ward was Earl. They get tired of their dull lives in a small desert town of perfection, and it's located in Nevada. It's just they try to skip town, and on their way out, they start experiencing a series of mysterious deaths around them, and it turns out they end up having to fight these worm-like monsters under the ground that are hungry for human flesh. And it becomes an ensemble piece. It's in a tiny town out in the middle of nowhere. You have a seismologist student from the university that basically discovers these unusual readings under the ground. You have the eccentric survival couple who are Reba McEntire, okay, the country singer, and Michael Gross from Family Ties with Michael J. Fox. Go figure. This movie is perfect. And this came out in 1990. This is considered like a low budget sci-fi type film. And the people that made the monsters were actually the same people that made Alien. They made the monster in Alien. So, but this was complete daylight instead of the darkness of space. But this is a really good film. I think you can still watch it today and really enjoy it and get the vibe. There's a whole series of films. It became like a cult classic. The other films get a little more campy. This is still campy, but it's still, has a measure of campy, but it's a little more grounded. And the first one is just really good from beginning to end. You get the comedy, you get the sci-fi. You got some really great characters, really good characters. You'll see Michael Gross's character take off throughout the rest of the series. They even made a TV series, and he was on that as well. That was a really good film. When it came out, it was not a big hit when it originally came out, but then it kind of built its audience and became a cult classic. Do you have 6 degrees, Kevin Bacon? Can you do 6 degrees? I think I can. Okay, here's my 6 degrees. I was a background actor in a film called Instinct with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Anthony Hopkins. You could actually see me. I was one of the prisoners in the yard. Cuba Gooding Jr. was in Jerry Maguire with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was in A Few Good Men with Kevin Bacon. Bam! There you go. You could do it. Let's hear you do it. Your turn. Alright, so I'm going to leave you with one more. And I mean, there's quite a few that you can name that are really perfect films. And I want you guys to leave them in the comments so people can check them out as well. Throw in a couple honorable mentions. Could just be perfect films on their own in their genre. One of them being Boys in the Hood, Ice Cube's acting debut, also with Cuba Gooding Jr. by the way. And I got 6 degrees of Ice Cube. And another one, Pitch Black with Vin Diesel. That's a really good sci-fi action adventure there. I like that. And he had a whole trilogy with that character, Riddick. Those are really cool. So yeah, throw in, make a suggestion. If people are listening, and you leave a suggestion in the comments, check out those movies, Anytime Vin Diesel's doing more action than talking, it's going to be a good movie. But this is another one, and the cast is built of future film stars and career actors. It's just crazy. And this movie came out, it was perfect, and it's perfect for its genre, perfect for that time, that moment. This one, and I'll read the little synopsis, and then you guess what it is. This is a coming-of-age film, follows the mayhem of a group of rowdy teenagers in Austin, Texas, celebrating the last day of high school in 1976. The graduating class heads for a popular pool hall and joins an impromptu keg party. However, star football player Randall Pink Floyd has promised to focus on the championship game. And he abstained from partying. Meanwhile, the incoming freshmen try to avoid being hazed by the seniors, most notably the sadistic bully Fred O'Banion. Fred O'Banion was played by Ben Affleck. Batman was whooping people's ass in 1976. This is from Dazed and Confused. This came out in 93. It was directed by Richard Linklater, and he's had a huge career, put out incredible movies, and this was a really low budget film considering what they did with it. For less than $7 million, $6.9 million was the budget, and you had a crazy cast. It's like so many of these people went on to have these amazing careers. You had Matthew McConaughey. This is like one of his first big roles. Parker Posey, a legendary indie actress. She became huge. She was on. She's been in everything now. She's in huge, big budget films. Jason London, who also has a twin brother. I think he was also. He might have been on there, like as a double or something. You had Ben Affleck, Willie Wiggins, Joey Lauren Adams. So you had Mila Jovovich. She went on to become a huge action star, sci-fi action star. So you had a really great cast. That was a fun movie. It was just, and it all took place in a single day, which was pretty similar to Tremors as well, when you think about that. It's like a single day. It's like a day in the life type of film. Those tend to be a little bit more straightforward, a little more fun, a little easier to follow. They keep you engaged because it's happening almost chronologically. So you're just going and going and going. But these are fun movies. The music, the soundtrack was perfect. The acting was on point. They were representing the 70s, and they were on point, man. So I would say watch those films. Tell me what you think. I think they are perfect movies, at least for their genre and for that moment. And you can still watch them today and enjoy them. I'm not saying watch them over and over. I don't think I could do that anymore. But those are solid. 3 solid picks. So if you have any suggestions, any films that you think are perfect, that you think people should check out, whatever genre it is, it doesn't have to be comedy, it could be sci-fi, it could be drama, it could be crime, could be sport, could be whatever. Drop it in the comments. Let people enjoy a good movie. And by the way, the word of the day is all right, all right, all right. That's a quote from Dazed and Confused. All right, all right, all right. Put that in the comments. The first one that puts it in the comments, I will pin you to the top. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Help us grow the channel. We're going to be doing video podcasts very soon, and we're going to have some great guests on there as well. Leave your comments, hit the like, I'm Tony Gaud, and this has been the Word of